UK is not only the country which is making major changes in their immigration visa policies. However, there are other countries as well doing that, like New Zealand, Australia, and many more. But some other countries are making it in more positive direction than the negative direction. The new changes which is proposed in the UK regarding the permanent settlement is not going down very well with a lot of people who thought they are able to apply for their permanent settlement, which is ILR, in coming days, months, or year. However, we are going to talk about Australia today because Australia is making some changes or proposing some changes for their direct PR. So, what it means, you can apply for direct permanent residency in Australia if your job falls under certain categories like tier 1, tier 2, 3, or 4. So, today we are going to discuss in detail what are the new proposed changes for Australia's 189 visa, which leads to a direct permanent residency without a job offer, and if your job falls under those demand lists. So if you're in the UK and if you feel like you want to move to another country, Australia can be your dream country where you don't require a job offer and you can move there with a direct PR. So if Australia interests you, make sure you watch the video till the end. So without any further delay, let me introduce Victor to you guys. Hi Victor, welcome again to Your Knowledge Buddy. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself once again to my audience, please?
Thank you very much, Sarika, for inviting me again on this platform, Your Knowledge Buddy. And I just love to speak to our audience and share whatever little knowledge I have. And yeah, bringing different news from the immigration industry, whatever is happening, how it's impacting our audience's dreams about settlement in different countries.
Yeah. So I know many countries are making changes in immigration, especially a lot in the UK. And I heard about Australia as well, especially about the subclass 189 visa category. So can we talk about it? What are the changes being announced and what is the impact on the people?
Definitely, Sarika. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to throw some light on the three subclasses, and then mainly we'll focus on 189. But there are three subclasses under which people from offshore apply for Australian permanent residency, and number one is 189, and then 190 and 491. So we'll just touch a little bit on the differences in these categories, and what are the upcoming proposed changes on subclass 189, and the audience, our audience, those who are looking for Australia as a migration destination, what they need to be aware of, and how these changes can affect them and their plans. So this is what the plan is today, Sarika.
Okay. And is the changes only announced for 189 or is it also for 190 and 490 as
Uh,
well?
Yeah, it's only for 189, Sarika.
Okay.
Basically, 189 is a federal PR sort of policy under which applicant can go and live anywhere in Australia. And 190 and 491, they are state-sponsored applications, so they are unaffected by this policy change. But overall dynamics are changing. Basically, occupational ceilings and basically point system, how it is important, because see, 65 points is the minimum criteria to apply for the residency. But now in this new setting, even if you have that 65 points or 70 points, but your occupation, that's also an important thing, because number of invitations are affected. So that is something which is a really crucial, and it's important for our audience to have knowledge about.
Yeah, very similar to what Canada did. Yeah, on the basis of
Yep.
knock code, they have changed their
Yep.
visa. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Be
great.
the setting. So
Yes.
exactly they are doing, but basically what's happening here in Australia, it's a little bit different. It's a new sort of
Okay.
a setting where they are making it tier wise. So there are four tiers which we're gonna throw some light on. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching Your Knowledge Buddy, and let's share some knowledge here.
Yes, definitely. Go for it, Victor.
Thank you. So I put together a slide, sort of a situation where we'll be able to cover a few details so that our audience can get some glance of the policy. I haven't, because of the limitation in the time, I haven't put together all the ENSCO codes in the slides, but that will give you a very good idea what we got to talk about or what Australia is about to change. Let's talk about the subclass 189 invitation model, which is proposed to be updated and how it will change. So let's have a look here.
Hmm.
So there are four tier systems which are being launched. They are in the process at the moment, and if you look at the tier one, So what Australia is doing right now, they are trying to target the highest value. It means those are the professionals which are in very, very dire scarcity in Australia, dire situation where Australia is planning to attract these talents from all over the world. So, Sarika, people, those who are in UK, I think that could be an opportunity for them if they are falling into tier one or tier two occupations. So basically, what's the rule here? What's going to happen here is if you look at this highest value. So medical professionals, if we talk about medical specialists, registered nurses, allied health professionals, and there are a lot of NSCOs which are listed under this, which we can share with our audience. If they want to know more about it, they can send you a message, and our team can share a complete list of NSCO codes with them. But just to give you a glance, highest value 4 multiplier. So basically what's the meaning here is tier one, 2, 3, 4, as you can see on the screen. So I'll give you an example that will give you some indication what Australia is actually planning. So tier 4, if you look at, that is really important because a lot of education consultants in India or in other countries, they have been promoting the students to go and study in Australia in accounting courses, become management accountant, accountant general, or ICT professional, software testers, programmers, all that sort of occupations, as well as chefs. So if you look at the tier four, that is really interesting that Australia is putting lowest weightage on these occupations in the future. That's a really big change because what they are treating that they are high supply or oversupply, I would say. A lot of graduates are there in the country already. There is oversupply. So if anybody is planning to study in Australia, they have to be aware of these things that they should not choose any programs which are leading to tier 4. It's best for them to concentrate on tier 1, 2, or or 3 maybe, but 1 or 2 are the tiers which we have to look at. So basically, Sarika, how it will impact if in tier 4, if there are 100 invitations issued by the government, it will reflect the tier 1 will receive 800 invitations.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what the plan is. The high priority ones will receive 400, tier 2 will receive 400, and tier 3 will receive 200. So this is how they are impacting. So basically, earlier what was happening in 189 subclass, if you are falling into the list, which is occupation list of Australia, and you are skilled, say for example, you are a civil engineer or you are just accountant, say for example, you are an accountant, you're meeting the threshold of the points, you are in the pool, and you will be picked up from the pool regardless of the number of applications. There could be maybe few thousands accountants have been picked up. So Australia has realized that this policy is not working for their economy and their country. They're not, this policy is not working well. So basically, what they have done is they have shifted this into the 4 tiers, so that even if you're qualifying under a lower tier, they don't have to invite you.
Mm-hmm. So,
So if
so
you are in a higher occupation,
Mhm.
even if you have a lower score, they might invite you.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. So, does it mean that if my score is less than 65 today, but say I belong to tier one, do I still get an invitation? Or will that the minimum score needs to be met, which is 65?
You're absolutely correct. Minimum score would be 65, but if you are scoring more than that and you are in the pool, so basically what happens is this is an annual sort of a thing, and every 6 months this will be reevaluated, revisited. So, Sarika, any applicant or any audience, if they have been preparing, because people prepare for years sometimes for Australian migration, so our suggestion would be for them to plan ahead of time. And before this policy kicks in, keep your application ready, get your skill assessment in order, and appear for your PT or IELTS exam, English exam, and try to score the highest score, whatever they can achieve. And 8 each will give them bonus points. And 8 years of experience could be really good. So basically, anything they can do to increase their point scale, or there is a NATI course, which is a language program. If they can do a NATI program, that can also give them points, or spouse can give them points. So basically, now applicants have to look further how they can have higher points and which tier they will fall in. And I would strongly recommend migrants, those who have occupations which are listed in tier 4, to look for alternative options. Don't wait for this because it can be prolonged wait times and low chances of getting selected
Yeah.
if you are in the lower tier.
Okay. So, Victor, one question. Do you know where does carer and senior carers sit in this tier? Will it be tier one
No, the carriers will fall into this tier two.
or tier two? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
because the tier one will basically will be all sort of special nurses. Those are health professionals,
Yeah.
and those sort of people, basically radiologists and all the health professionals, basically
Doctors.
GP specialists,
Yeah.
doctors, pediatricians, and all that sort of stuff. So
Mm.
all the highest value will be the medical professionals. The care workforce is not health professionals; they are not into that criteria.
Okay.
So basically, high priority tier two, if you can see here, like social workers, psychologists, and early childhood teachers, and all sort of other teachers, they all fall into tier two list. And I can share the complete list, and you can put into the footing of this video,
Yeah, sure thing.
so that applicants can have a look and they can see which list and which tier they fall into.
Yeah. So
All
this is
right, so
already
let's
defined.
yeah.
Sorry, Victor. So this is already defined now by the government, right? So this is nothing to be discussed. So they have already defined which are the jobs in tier one, tier two, tier three, right?
Yes, already ANSCO codes are decided, but
Mm.
they are not announced.
Okay.
So there could be any last minute changes, but this is the
Yeah.
draft policy which has been leaked, I would say,
Okay.
because like we have Official Information Act. So similarly, Australia has an act in which you
Yeah.
can get the information, whatever is happening, like RTIs in India. So
Okay.
similar model. So we got this information according to that, and in this. Um, like whatever draft information was there with immigration that has been released, and the final draft will be later on released, but we have a really good understanding about the ANSCO codes which are under there. That's why we put together this to give some ideas to the audience.
Okay. Another question, Victor. So is this rule already live now, or will it be implemented in coming days?
It will be implemented. It's not live as of now.
Mm.
As I said, this is a draft policy and it's not publicly announced at the moment, but this is taken as a special request from the government.
Okay. And do they have any kind of tentative timelines by when it will be live?
Not really, but yeah, I can comment on that.
Okay.
Sorry, at the
Okay.
moment,
Okay.
it's not a specific date which they have said because,
Okay.
again, it's a draft policy right now.
Okay.
And yeah, so if you look at the key changes which are coming up and how it will implement and what is proposed, so basically, immigration department is trying to take most of the control under themselves. So basically, it's a tiered model. So by that tiered model, they'll be able to select what occupation, which occupation they will be prioritizing. So they have taken the right away from the migrants applicants that if they are scoring high, then okay, give me PR. Now they will say what our country needs, we'll give PR according to that. So basically, all of these things are based on the labor market research and the statistical data available with the country. And according to that, they are selecting the occupations that what's happening in the job market, what sort of vacancies are sitting idle, not many people applying, or what sort of occupations are oversupplied.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be quarterly invitation rounds. And at the moment, the ceilings are not on display, that it's not displayed. So after each round, they will declare how many people are invited under which occupation or tier. And there will be annual ceilings as already they have as per the immigration programs. So they have the data, how many people required in particular occupations and score codes. And the similar annual ceiling calibration system will be followed. And mid-year review process, there will be a review. They will see in 6 months how the policy has performed, how many people have shown interest in this policy, how many invitations have been issued, and how many more spaces are left. If in the first 6 months all the spaces are taken, they will not issue more further invitations. So that's why I would recommend audience, our people who are watching this video, if you are planning to apply for the Australian permanent residency, you have to be proactive now. Because if you wait too long, then the spaces will be taken away and eaten away and distributed. So you will have less chances of getting selected. So this is an opportunity. Your point system today could mean that you can be selected, but maybe after a week, maybe other applicants are there, and threshold goes up, and higher point people will get the priority. So it's not that if you have 65 points and you're a doctor, you will be selected. It's not like that. You are a health professional, you're a nurse or a doctor, and you have 65 points or 70 or 80 points, but in the threshold, in the pool, they will see who are the highest point claiming applicants. So, first of all, they will be given a prioritization, they will be given priority.
Good to know
All
that.
right, so ceiling. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was saying good to know that because when you showed that tier one, two, three, I was again thinking about people who are in the UK who are not happy about the new immigration changes, especially around ILR, which is announced. I think people who are upset about it, they may look at those tier one, two, and if they can get a direct PR in Australia, why not? I think they may be interested to apply rather than waiting here 10 years or
Definitely.
15 years and they think they had been penalized, because they were promised for ILR, say, within 5 years or 10 years, and which is not happening based on the new rule. So that's what my brain was thinking now. But thank you.
No, no, you're correct, Sarika. You're correct. So basically, how this point system works is basically these are the points on the settlement factor. So they will get points for their age, their qualification, their work experience, their English. All these skills will be counted. And if they can score enough points, then I would recommend get skill assessment done. That independent assessment basically from Australia, and different bodies are there. The major body is VetAssess. So they have to get their assessment done. If they're engineer, they have to go to Engineers Australia. So this is how it works. So once they get the assessment, they know exactly how many years of experiences are like experience has been awarded, how many, what sort of qualification level they have. They have masters or they have bachelor's or PhD. So that, and as well as their English score, all these things will define their point score. And our team can help if anybody, individual person wants to get the point system done, and like they want to know about the point system or they want to get an individual assessment, then definitely our team can help. So
Definitely.
ceilings apply across all skilled visa pathways, not just 189. So basically, so this is old news. So ceilings were already there in place. So the different states, they have their own rights. If we talk about South Australia, or if we talk about Queensland, they have, or Victoria, New South Wales, they have their own system of permanent residency and distribution of spaces according to occupations and how many skilled people they require. So that is still remain there. So that's not changing. So ceiling, understanding occupation ceilings. If we have just covered a multiplier effect. So if 100 applications in tier 4, then 800 applications in tier 1. So this is again explained here that how it will be done once the ceiling is achieved. Say for example, they need 300 nurses or 500 nurses. So as soon as that ceiling achieved, then that policy, that occupation will be exhausted, and no more further places will be offered under that particular occupation for that particular immigration year, because immigration's target for that year has been achieved. So this is about the occupational ceiling. If anyone has any question, then they can comment on our video, they can ask about the further details, and definitely we'll try to help them.
Thank
Any
you.
questions till now?
No, so far. Thank you.
All right, so just to give you some indication, what sort of people will fall into what and ANSCO code. So this is just a glance again. This is just some information about what sort of people will fall into what. So in the highest value, general practitioners, surgeons and psychiatrists, physicians, emergency medicine specialists, registered nurses, all sort of like they have to have the RN status, and then they have RN status defined into different streams. They can be ICU, like critical care, mental health, or they can be aged care specialization, but they have to have the RN. And allied health services are also like OTs and physiotherapists, they're also eligible under that. So if anybody is keen, if they have studied in UK, they have done any of these programs, then this is a good news for those audience, those applicants, and they can definitely explore. And the people from UK, Sarika, they have a advantage which we witness a lot of time. The applicants from UK, they have better English
Mm-hmm.
because they've spent time in that multicultural environment, in the English environment. So if they appear for a PT or IELTS test, they perform better sometimes as compared to somebody who has not spent time in a multicultural environment, or they're not from the English speaking background.
Yeah.
So these
And
are the occupations. So these are high value occupations, basically.
yeah, and if they have studied in the UK, I think they don't even need to give IELTS or PTA exam.
It's not like that, Sarika, in the
Oh.
migration system. In the migration system, because English scores award you points.
Oh, okay.
So basically, what happens is if you have six each, then you get points, then seven each,
Ah,
and then eight each.
all
So
right. So English, giving English exam is a mandatory, even though you have done your master's or bachelor's or PhD from UK.
yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. You are right in one sense. Like if you talk about New Zealand, if somebody is applying for a New Zealand residency, and if they have studied, if they have done masters or a bachelor's degree or a PhD from UK, then they do not have to give English exam because they've already proven that they have English skills. Because in New Zealand we have overall 6.5 they have to prove.
Mm, okay, got it.
So it is different story, but in
So maybe
Australia
I'm
it's different
mixing.
because
I was
yeah,
mixing things on in my head now. Yeah, okay, good.
yeah.
Thank you.
Because in Australia they get bonus points, so that's why it's basically superior English gets
Yeah,
bonus points.
yeah. Okay.
All right, so if we look at some examples here about the tier two as child care center managers, ECE teachers, secondary school special educators, psychologists, and social workers. They all fall into high priority list, and they have 2% multiplier. And diverse occupations, if you look at, so all engineering disciplines, which is a news, which is something new, because engineers are always deemed to be in the high priority and high demand list. And this is a surprise for us as well to
Mhm.
see that the engineers, architects, and surveyors are put into this tier three. It
Yeah.
is, isn't it? Rest every
Yeah.
country, if we talk about, they prefer civil engineers, mechanical engineers, and technical people.
Correct.
And
That's why I was disappointed. I mean, I'm from IT and I take pride, whenever the IT people are in demand. I think Australia's tier four, when I saw ICT, is like, oh, okay, looks like there are many people. So good to see a little shift as well, and the demand in the country. Good.
yeah. So again, so this was the tier three, and then if you look at the tier four high supply, and it's all because of oversupply. And you're right
Yeah.
in ICT. I would say from last 15 years, I have been witnessing all the IT people. They are deemed to be like they are demanded everywhere. They can just go and they have an easy pass. They can get the residency straight away. And by mentioning that, these IT people and the people, those who are in UK, and if they are from the IT background, I've got a good news for them. Even Australia, even Australia is putting them into tier four, doesn't matter. But in New Zealand, they can qualify. A lot of those people can qualify under straight to residence policy.
Okay.
So, sorry for crossing
No,
the
that's
two
fine.
things, like
Good to know.
189 to
Okay.
shifting to New Zealand, because, like it's new knowledge is power, and wherever we can help our audience to understand the process and it can benefit them, definitely we should talk about it. So, what happens, Harika, in New Zealand, we have a policy called straight to residence, and under in that policy, if applicant is having a qualification which is IT related, they can apply for a qualification assessment. And if they are from UK, then they can get exempted from that skill assessment or qualification assessment, which is called IQA. They don't have to get the qualification assessed if they are from UK, if they've done a qualification from a UK university. They don't have to meet the English level requirements if they have their qualification they have from the UK. And the other thing is that they have to only meet few criterias. Number one, they have to have a job offer, and there are some salary thresholds they have to meet, which are not too bad for Australia for IT professionals basically. And they have to meet health and character basic things, and they can apply for residency and just straight to residence. And they can get permanent residency. From our experience, they a lot of people they got their residency within 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, great. So good news for IT people overall then. It's not sad news. Yeah. So we'll do more video, maybe detailed video on that, Victor. so that
Yeah.
my IT friends can watch it and they can, of course, take
Yep.
advantage of it to move to New Zealand.
So don't be disappointed if you are in IT. You are still in demand here in New Zealand. All
Yeah.
right, guys. So, surprisingly, if you look at the chefs, being a country like Australia, also encourage a lot of multiculturalism, a lot of tourism, but still, because of oversupply, because there were so many small colleges offering the chef and barista courses, so that's why now they have oversupply, and that's why it has put into tier 4. So, guys, if you are any of these professions, then you have to be again. I would recommend have a backup country in your mind because Australia might not work for you in the coming future in the current settings, in the proposed settings, basically. All right. So, how these tiers were decided and how they have reached up to that understanding that which occupation will be falling into which tier. So, labor market analysis has been done. So, government reviewed the Australian Bureau of Statistics, employment data, industry feedback, and workforce projections about the country. And according to that, they have decided on these occupations because a lot of people have been asking how they reach up to that conclusion, which INSCO code will fall into what. So these are the guidelines and the tier assignment. So tier occupations are allocated to tiers based on shortage, severity, strategic importance, and supply dynamics. Because if an occupation is oversupplied, then definitely that is put into tier 4. So we have already discussed that mid-year there will be a review, how many places have been filled, and according to that, the policy will be modified. And if you look at ceiling calculations, multiplier applied to stock employment figures to determine maximum invitations per occupation. We have already covered that, touch base on that. If tier 4 is receiving 100, then the tier 1 will receive 800. So that gives a very clear indication. So, guys, how this will be affecting you. So, this is something which we can look into. Timing is critical. Points matter. We have already discussed that you have to be prepared. You have to get your skill assessment in order. You have to try and score higher point score in English so that you can have a higher placement in the pool and you have higher chances of getting selected. So, Sarika, the state nomination alternative, if you look at my screen, here it says 119, 491 pathways, bypass 189 ceilings, and may offer faster outcomes. So that is something for tier 3 and tier 4 applicants. If they think that our occupations are not in high demand, they are not in tier 1, 2, and chances are less, then they can look at alternative options. They can look at state nominations. And if they get the nomination, then they can be on a fast track to gain the residency in Australia.
Okay, good
Any
to know.
questions?
No, at least good to know that people, if they are disappointed to see the tier 4 jobs, if they belong to that, they have alternate options still in Australia, which is 190 and 491 pathway, like you say.
Definitely. So these are the basic things. And then a lot of people have been asking, does the government publish live ceiling data? So the answer is no, there is no live ceiling data. It is all the results will be published after the invitation rounds has taken place. And why are employer sponsored visa? So if somebody is already in the country or somebody already has a job offer, definitely those are prioritized because they are not a burden on the country. They can straight away come and they can contribute in that taxation. They can pay taxes. So that's why they have a priority. And a lot of people are asking how the impact will be and how the things will be changing. So we have already covered that in every mid-year, they will change. Uh, Basically, they will look into the policy and see how many spaces are left and how many are filled, and accordingly allocate the spaces to different occupations. And will the updated model increase invitations? The total number of invitations depend on annual planning levels and demand. So again, this is the plan of Australia, and they have identified the skill shortages. They are trying to attract the talent, but again, it all depend upon how the talent will respond, how the talented occupants are like applicants are applying for it. So that's why they have kept this right with themselves that they will be having the right to amend the thresholds as we go. So this is from me, Sarika. This is about 189 changes. Any questions? You're more than welcome.
No, just not a question, but I was just thinking, what my audience can do because they all are, I mean, whoever are in UK, they all are looking for ILR. They want a settlement. And
Mm.
if at all the new rules which are being proposed in the UK, if it's not in their favor, they can start thinking of Australia as well, especially for people whose jobs are listed under tier one and tier two, where they get a direct PR rather than thinking of UK. They may have to wait for 10 years or 15 years. So I think I'm going to encourage them to do that. And I really like what you said about, you can start doing your preparation now in terms of English language, because I thought maybe English language is not needed, but English language is needed. And you can start doing your background checks, you get your certificates ready. So those are the things, if people are keen now to explore other country like Australia, I think they should start their preparation now to strengthen their profile. Uh, that's all I have to say and encourage them to apply.
Definitely, Sarika. So we are here to help our audience. If they have any questions, please ask them to put the questions, and our team will be here to
Yeah,
support them and to answer their queries.
definitely.
And yeah, wish them all the best, and looking for another session with you in the near future.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you for another amazing session. Thank you, and speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.